Braca, braca. I choose you again, my first love. Come back to your first love. Braca, braca. Welcome HSE-TV Entertainment. All right, War Ready. Where you at, bro? That I couldn't wait to hear this one. I hear you, bro. I hear you. I had to go pick up my daughter, so that I wanted to get into it when I first read your comment. I was like, I ain't got enough room. I ain't even gonna do them like that. But if you want to ever hit the share button and not miss nothing, now is the time while I'm up there just running my mouth. So, welcome. As we get into Succubees Incubees spirits, we have shown these. It's not the first time because, in all actuality, we showed how they invisibly touch women, men. We read in Testament of Solomon. We seen that forces of evil and what they are capable of doing in their little astro tech Ouija board connections, you know. They're very tricky, but they ain't that good. Not good enough where we don't know what's going on. They're very tricky, but so as we get down to business, other than myself, but we have already talked about these things, but it's best when sometimes people see it for themselves, you know, because people don't be believing, man. They don't be believing. And you have to show a person sometime better than you can tell them, you know. Welcome to HSE, Holy Spirit Enlightenment, TV or television entertainment. We ask that you click the subscribe, like, or share, and share button. All depends on you if you like what we bring to the content.
So I have a succubus story time. And in case you don't know what a succubus is, a succubus is a female.
You had sex with a ghost?
So I have a succubus story time. And in case you don't know what a succubus is a female D word.
Yeah, they got to show their ugly head and interruptions, right? They just can't help themselves, brothers and sisters. Even God muted them, other than me muting them. It took a long time for that thing to spin. I know that's more than 5 seconds, though. But welcome as we introduce you to the underworld of powerful troubles, snare traps, spiritual sex lovers of the underworld.
Why a succubus, Anna? It's a great question. I'd love to answer that for you.
I believe I'm going to ask you this, but I have to.
What?
You had sex with a ghost?
A ghost, yeah.
Come on.
Do you have anything else to say to the other vampires listening out there?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Let's get this money.
It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and needing me. Money coming in repeatedly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly. Money coming, it's just money coming. Money coming to me immediately. Money coming in.
So I have an incubus story time that I want to share. This is actually the one that I originally shared about a year ago, but TikTok took it down because the comments were so wild. This time around, I'm going to keep the story very brief and not give so much detail. So story time. A friend of mine invited me over to her house for dinner. It was me, my fiance, her, and her husband. Now, I'm very sensitive, so normally when I walk into a person's home, I check around to see if I feel anything. And when I walked into her home felt perfectly fine. The night went like you would expect. Right before we were getting ready to leave, she kept insisting for me to go into her bedroom. Said that her husband had bought her a picture that she really wanted me to see. For whatever reason, I didn't want to go into her room, but she was so insistent that I agreed. The minute I walked into her room, I felt it. It was almost like the air shifted, like the whole atmosphere changed. Like I was like almost struggling to breathe, and I knew there was something extremely dark in her room. I tried to like play it off and kind of make an excuse as to how I needed to leave the room right away. Soon after that, we left. I kept going back and forth on if I wanted to bring it to her attention, but a lot of times you don't know how a person's going to react, and they may think that like I'm like crazy. Finally, I decided to just give her a call. After I explained to her what I felt, the first words out of her mouth were, "So you mean he's still here?" And I'm like, "Who's still here?" She then begins to tell me the story. She told me that months ago, one night she was laying in bed sleeping when about 3 a.m. she heard her husband coming into the bedroom. Now, mind you, her husband works night shift, so she was a bit surprised that he was home so early. Her husband then proceeded to go underneath the blankets, and you can imagine. When she went to remove the blankets off of her, there was no one there. This went on for some time. For whatever reason, she started to get really attached to this thing. She would dream about him, and she started to like fall for him. Wow, this thing was literally sucking her energy off of her. She started to walk around looking like she was anemic. She had bags under her eyes. She then was always like covered in bruises that she couldn't explain. It got so bad that her husband had to like bring it to her attention and be like, "There's something wrong with your health. Like, we need to get you checked out." She finally decided to come clean, and he went and took her to church. The minute she went to church with this, they prayed over her, they went to her house, they blessed her home. And she says from that time forward that it hasn't happened since, which I then explained to her that all that did was cause him to become dormant, but that he was still there. Like, he's still there, he's just waiting for the opportunity to kind of swoop back in. I urged her to get help, and she never did. Last time we spoke, she had completely like just lost it, and I decided that for my family's safety, I needed to just completely cut her off.
Hey y'all, I just wanted to give you some insight on how these incubus and succubus spirits are going to be approaching y'all as you ascend more and more. So obviously we all have our own beliefs. What I'm about to say is from my experience, from what the downloads I'm getting. So if you don't agree with it, okay, don't. So all right. My encounter with, so I've had 2 encounters with succubus spirits. One was with a person I talked to some years back. They still had some form of control, but a couple months ago, a person I thought was my twin, my false twin, turns out they're a whole succubus demon. And this is how these incubus and succubus demons pull you in. So when you first meet them, they're going to come off as very mysterious, sweet. You feel me? But below all of that, their sexual energy is like bubbling. They crave it. They want it so bad. So my first few times kicking it with this person, obviously I was attracted to her, but there was something I couldn't put my finger on. I'm like, she's acting super innocent and sweet, but there's just something that I'm feeling, and I want to conquer that shit. I want to tap that. You feel me? So it made me chase her more. This is what they do. They know that if they were to link up with another incubus, succubus spirit, they're just going to be draining each other. They're not going to be doing shit. So they act this way to attract empaths and light workers. They make sure their physical and how they're coming to you in the 3D is super respectable, classy, right? But whole time, they have demonic sexual energy. And I'm not saying like sexual energy isn't demonic. I'm just trying to put emphasis on how horny these fuckers are. You feel me? So their sexual energy is just bubbling under this whole fakeness that they're coming at you with, and you feel it, and it brings you closer and closer. So a lot of times, these succubus and incubus spirits can have you in a form of like limbo for a long time, because not only...
Notice you keep looking around. You're the only one in the room, but there's a presence there. What he's explaining to you is evil communications corrupt good manners. Only if you let it in.
Only will they have you waiting, but they will openly date and give it up to other people. The other people they are giving it up to are not empaths. they're either not awake and they get just easily drained, or they're other demon spirits, you feel me? But they don't fuck with these people because they need light. They need light, you feel me? So, and this isn't me saying everyone who comes off very shy and classy is like has a succubus incubus demon. That's not the case at all. But as y'all start getting more and more aware of energy, I really need y'all to tune in and feel that shit. If you feel this sexual energy pulling you in that deeply, but there's no signs of it manifesting in the 3D, it's a trap. Oh my God, it's a trap. Because when
you tell your experience. Oh my God.
You feel like the fucking man. You feel like that fucking girl. But whole time, you're just falling deeper and deeper into their plan, their grasp. So now you have that sacral chakra connection with them. They can drain you, talk shit about you. They can do anything because they played that long haul with you and they won because you got it. You think you won, but you didn't. You didn't win anything. So now, not only are you obsessed with them, but now because of all the sex they have with people, not only are you dealing with your soul tie, it's like 5 other soul ties. So whole time as I was healing from this toxic connection, not only am I transmuting this soul tie from them, they have like 2, 3 other soul ties. I'm like, damn. I don't want to deal with all your trauma. Ugh. But yo, once you finally transmute that shit, oh my God, you feel so fucking good, yo. Woo. But yeah, be careful, cause that shit, it ain't worth it. The person I was talking to, they asked, yeah.
Let's talk about sex demons again. We talked about this a long, long time ago. But I moved to a new apartment. You know, you move to a new place. You kind of like take on other people's old, whatever they had up in there. And this spot had a whole lot of old shit. But anyway, I used to deal with incubus, right? That's like the male version of like a sex demon. This person left behind a succubus. I seen it in my dreams. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not into that. I'm sitting here in my dream like, I know this woman ain't trying to like be up on me. I was like, the fuck? And she fucking disgusting. I ain't never seen one that was just like so goddamn nasty. Like, not sexual nasty, but like hygiene nasty. I was like, how you get here? She was eyeing in a dream, right? Telling myself, oh, I want her. Well, I'm finna go for that shit. I'm sitting here like, the fuck? So I'm over here walking, and she over here like trying to touch me and everything. And basically, she got off by just like looking at me and like kind of touching me. Like when she got off, she had spit some nasty ass motherfucking, I don't know, some like custard looking juice at me.
So all y'all that Kundalini or third eye awake and open and without the spirit, you meet these colorful creatures. And I've heard stories like this in real time with people believing in, you know, that stuff. Say, I met this woman, she undressed me and, you know, had sex with me. I was like, what? Man, that sounded like you was marked. Little did I know, it's the truth.
I don't think it came from like nothing like below, from like her like upper. I was like, I have never experienced something like this. It was so fucking disgusting. But like, I'm telling you this because she's bothered me in my dreams a couple times. Not in the physical because, you know, house is good. But like, that's when I had first moved in. So I didn't know that this was like happening for her. I was like, the fuck? That didn't really get to go far because again, she didn't get to touch me or nothing like that. But pretty much like, I'm saying all this because it was another occurrence. And because I tell you how to get rid of them, don't mean like that's a full permanent remedy. But anyway, carry on with the story. I ain't like pushing her. I'm like, bitch, get the fuck off me. Like, who are you? Like, basically, I was strong as hell. I'm like, move. But like, I guess because she seen I was strong, she was like, oh, I want her. No. But she did try me again, though. I had another dream. I remember I had just got my hair done. I was looking good in my dream. And then next thing I know, like, this woman presence, it wasn't even like a human being. It was like a human being noid. I don't know how to explain it. But she tried to, like, kiss me. And I was like, bitch, get the fuck back. I had back there. I was like, ew, no. I don't know why she thought because I was dreaming that I was going to be weak and say, oh, yes, or just take that shit. I was just like, no. I guess because she thought that I ain't been lucid lately, that she probably could try me. But, like, I know how to get lucid a little bit when it's needed. But I want to tell y'all about the time because she has been persistent. She been trying the fuck out of me, thinking I'm just going to go for it. She had posed as my brother in my dream. Posed as my whole brother, talking sexual to me. And I'm sitting here looking like,
I'm getting downloads as if like I'm like alive and like lucid right now, like in like my actual like body day-to-day life.
So for those that are woke or open in the spiritual realm, what did she just tell y'all? Your visions and your dreams are when intruders is trying to come into your house, written in the Bible as a thief comes when one is not ready. My. See how the magnetic truth of the gospel comes to play? Because your house is you, the body, the temple. But see, you're unconscious. So you thought. Vibrations, people, alert you in the form of a holographic image you call vision and dream and protects you while you're clueless.
I'm sitting here like, you're my brother. And I just kept talking about sexual positions. I'm just like, that's incest. I was just like looking at her like, I'm not gonna go for that. Like, I was so like dreaming, but I was so like disgusted. I'm like, out of all things you gonna pose as my brother, are you fucking kidding me?
So I have a succubus story time. And in case you don't know what a succubus is a female D word that will SA their victim while they sleep. So the story took place back in 2012 in Bakersfield, California. So Ethan had just gotten home from college when he decided to start working on some homework and get ready for bed. He was pretty drained, so the minute he laid down, he was completely passed out. But not for long. He started to have this dream about this very dark being trying to break into his home. It finally broke in, and the minute this thing broke into his home, Ethan jumped out of bed completely startled. He felt this intense ringing in his ear that he could not explain where it was coming from, and the whole room just felt off. He almost felt like he had been drugged. He then realized that he couldn't move. He was completely paralyzed, and he felt the presence of a very dark being at the head of his bed. This thing was holding his arms down, not letting him move, and was trying to like put something in his ear. Can't give any more further details regarding what was going on because TikTok were not like that. But Ethan was in intense pain and kept trying to break free, but no matter what he did, like he couldn't break free. He then started to curse at this thing, but regardless, like the pain just intensified. He then heard this horrific, loud, high-pitched laughing sound coming from this D word. The D word then whispered right next to his ear the word soon. The minute he said that, Ethan was completely free and this thing left his house. Ethan right away jumped out of his bed and turned the lights on, and nothing seemed out of the ordinary in his room aside from the fact that both of his dogs had been right outside of his bedroom door, barking and trying to break into his room to save him. He tried to brush it off as it may have just been a horrible nightmare until he went to the bathroom, turned the lights on, and saw in the mirror that both of his eyes were completely bloodshot. Till this day, Ethan remains terrified of this thing returning, being that it said soon. It has yet to return. Want to get creeped out?
That's right. The fight begins when you reject them. The lust of a man or a woman will never be satisfied. That's right. It's desperately wicked. Jeremiah chapter 17. I know that ringing. So do I. Written by War Ready.
Want to get creeped out? Let's talk about the succubus. The succubus
Lilith.
is also known as the Earth Wanderer, which is a pretty cool name. This is a female demon or supernatural entity in folklore that appears in dreams to seduce men. Another one. I don't know if she eats men though, but she seduces them. And normally she does this through schmexual activity. According to religious traditions, the succubus needs something that rhymes with perm to survive. Repeated wink wink, oh, that was a terrible wink. Repeated wink wink activity between the succubus and the man will create a bond between them. Because of this, the succubus won't be able to harm or drain the man who she is getting freaky with. In modern representation, the succubus is normally presented as beautiful seductress rather than something scary or terrifying or hideous. In medieval Jewish folklore, a woman named Lilith was Adam's first wife, and she later became a succubus. She allegedly
left Adam and refused to return to the Garden of Eden after she mated with an archangel named Samuel, I believe is how you pronounce it. In some folklore, there was also 3 other women who mated with this archangel and became succubuses. Or succubi, if you want to get particular. Although a succubus might appear as a beautiful young girl, closer inspection may reveal some strange deformities. For instance, some might have bird-like claws or serpentine tails, which would freak me right out. Folklore surrounding this creature gets pretty intense and graphic, so I'm not going to give you the exact details, but let me just say this. The details are very gross of a gentleman caller who wishes to eat this creature's panini, if you get what I'm putting down here. Also, in later folklore, this creature becomes more of a siren rather than a succubus. Now, tales surrounding succubi are pretty much always portraying them as malevolent. However, they are not always so. There is one particular story about a succubus named Meridiana who got involved with and helped a pope, actually, to achieve his high role in a Catholic church. Can't help but wonder how the other priests felt about that. According to one legend, succubi collect sperm from men and then give them to the incubi, which are the male version of succubuses. Succubi. The incubi would then impregnate human women with this sperm, thus explaining how demons can apparently sire children. Follow for part 2.
Why a succubus, Anna? It's a great question. I'd love to answer that for you. After growing up in purity culture, being taught that my body is inherently sinful, that my pleasure doesn't matter, my body and any pleasure I derive from it is inherently shameful, while at the same time being leered at, hit on, come on to, touched inappropriately by men much older than me. Hell, this started as young as even elementary school for me, only to grow up into an adolescent and then a woman where men felt increasingly entitled to my body. So with all of that happening, why wouldn't I choose to be a creature who uses everything that men felt entitled to, their own hubris and presumption against? Why wouldn't I want to be a creature who knows her power and her worth, who knows how to derive her own pleasure, who isn't afraid of her sexuality, but in fact utilizes it, enhances it for herself? They want to dehumanize us. All right, then I'll be a monster. A soul-sucking demon, seeking revenge on those who have wronged me and mine. We'll see how they beg for my humanity then.
I was in a relationship with a succubus for many years. Many people have spiritual spouses and are unaware of how these spirits are wreaking havoc in their life. Here's my story. Succubus or incubus is a demonic spirit that preys upon the living and influences us through negative thoughts and lustful temptation. The intention of this demonic spirit is to drain us of our ashe or life force energy through lustful acts or immoral, low vibrational activities. These spirits usually enter through some form of trauma or abuse. And in case you were wondering, yes, when I was 7 years old, my female babysitter did sexually abuse me. And that is what opened the door for this spiritual spouse. Fast forward 10 years later, the age of 17, I woke up 3 a.m, what I thought was a dream, to a spirit having sex with me is the only way I can describe it, okay? And I thought it was a dream, but upon further recollection, I'm like, no, this actually happened. The next 10 years of my life was filled with this spirit wreaking havoc on all of my relationships and me falling into deep states of depression. At times, it even seemed the people I were dealing with were possessed and acting out of their nature. And this is actually what happens with these spiritual spouses. They will mount and negatively influence the people in your life to keep them away from you. To cleanse myself of this energy, I went on a deep spiritual fast. I rejected anything low vibrational. I started saving my energy and not giving it away. And that led to a greater sense of well-being, rejuvenation, and a renewed sense of purpose. These spirits are real. And if you find yourself constantly overcome with lustful, negative thoughts, you might want to cleanse yourself too.
I was talking to a succubus one time, and I asked her what form she took when she was feeding on people. And she showed me this beautiful, gorgeous form. And then I asked her what form she took when she was just herself. No illusion, no magic included. And she showed me this form that was beastly, disgusting, and very, very smelly. And I asked her why she looked like that. And she said that succubi and other spirits usually take on the form of what they eat. And because so many people have grotesque and disgusting urges, They take on these forms because that's what they are. You are what you eat. And it was monstrous.
Okay, I'm going to try to explain this in a way that does not sound crazy, but it's going to sound a little crazy. There are people in this world who hold a lot of power. And I'm not just talking about their money. I'm talking about energetically, they hoard a lot of power, resources, all of that. And a good amount of those people do not use it for good. When someone is in their succubus or incubus energy and or their siren energy, I feel like you can siphon the energy of those energy hoarders for the benefit of yourself and the benefit of other people. If y'all have been watching my Eat the Rich series from the very beginning, you know I've been around a lot of rich, powerful people. And a lot of them are drawn to me. And so many say just something about like your eyes, like something about your eyes. You can siphon this energy by being in close contact with them, close relations with them. If you choose to, you can be in spicy relations with them. And this is going to be my own little theory. I haven't heard it anywhere else. Correct me if I'm wrong. I love giving credit where credit is due. But if you do spicy things with someone who has a lot of power, even if they don't have power, and I'm not talking about anyone being essayed, I'm talking about consensual, agreements. I feel like a tie can be formed and you can tug on that tie, therefore tugging on their energy, tugging on their resources, their abundance for yourself and for other people. I know there's a lot of people watching this being like, this bitch look crazy. I've had this theory for years, okay? And the best way to describe it, say for instance, you have someone right here. Okay, this is person A or whatever. Person B is just, imagine them tugging, but it's energy. So the next time you around or in relations with someone who has a lot of resources, you better siphon that shit the fuck up. Even at a distance, you can siphon that shit up. Trust me. Let me know if you have questions. Again, I don't like talking about spirituality on this page anymore in general, but I really don't like putting this theory out there because people are not going to get it. And we're not talking about monetary gain. We're literally talking about energy and like using that energy for our own personal gain. A complex theory. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't be an idiot in the comments, okay? You'll get blocked. Okay, bye.
Toxic people possess a lustful spirit, and I'm about to explain. Women who are very lustful are succubus. Men who are very lustful are incubus. These people possess low vibrational frequencies, low energy. When a woman or a man that possesses this spirit has sex with you, you will feel drained, you will feel sleepy, you will feel tired. The reason you feel this way is because they have siphoned your energy for themselves. See, if you ever get the sudden urge to go back to that old sneaky link, that old ex, anybody from your past and have sex with them, it's because they're manifesting you into their life because they need the extra boost of energy. They're very low vibrational. This is why you find out that a toxic man is down low. They don't care. They use anything with the hole because they need the energy boost. So they continuously going around sleeping with multiple people. Their spirit is already BEAD, but they need somebody to bring that life to them. So when they see your light, they come towards you because they're demons. Everything starts from a spiritual level. You should always look at somebody for what their soul is and not their flesh.
Okay.
Man, bro, so let me tell you what had went down. I was 2 bands away from getting bro a whole barbershop, bro. Oh, my mama, bro. He not gonna call my phone talking about I just got paid. I looked at the phone. You just got paid. What? Man, where the dice at? I'm ready to shoot. We can roll. Last time I shot with him, 1,300 in my pocket. Easy. Off top. Off top. Easy. So what happened? What happened? Man, Peanut is what.
Okay, so let me tell y'all what happened. Yes, I was being essayed by an incubus that I created. This was around the time that I began to tap into my spiritualism on more of a witchy and a majestic tip. Y'all, I was doing all types of stuff. But I was really dabbling in chaos magic at the time. So I learned how to create a spiritual servitor to do your bidding. And I said, you know what? I can't, have sex with this guy now. Let me create an entity to have sex with him at my command. Oh, my God. I want to say it took me like 3 days, y'all, to actually create the sigil, to create the plan for it, to breathe life into it. It was a whole ritual. Like, I remember just
when I was breathing life into it, seeing this ultraviolet light come out of my sacral chakra and create this form directly in front of me. It's so crazy and profound because I was at my father's house at the first time and we were living together. Well, I was living with my dad. I had gotten in trouble at home for whatever reason, but I was living with my dad in Alabama and I was sitting in the back room and I was just pushing this energy out of my sacral, just filling up this form. And I executed. I said, go and do my bidding. Go and do it. I don't know. I ended up moving back with my mom, I want to say about a week later. And, y'all, we named him Arnold. I would be laying in my bed and I would physically feel somebody reach over and put their arm around me and hold me. I would lay in bed with my eyes open, just shaking. Anxiety would be out the room. My heart would pump so bad. Around this time, I was dealing with extremely bad anxiety. I would go to sleep and physically feel someone having sex with me. I would wake up to a mess. We would hear footsteps in my bedroom. Now, mind you, this was nightly, y'all. Nightly. It got to the point to where my sister knew who Arnold was. My mother knew, my best friend. And he hated when my best friend came over. But this entity kept doing it every night. It's like he thought we were in a relationship. And not to mention that we would talk to it and talk about it. So he was really building his personification. My mama got to the point where she was like, we're not going to do this no more. My mama came in, did her warfare, Arnold went away. I don't know where Arnold at, but he no longer on me. But that is the story on how I created an incubus, and it just was doing
pure angelic spirit in the whole room. And they'll make a beeline right for you. Whenever you see an energy vampire or a succubus coming your way, and you'll know because they will take the energy right out of the room. And the first person they go for is that good-hearted, pure angelic person. Run away.
A lot of times you don't know that you're dealing with a sex demon. So how I knew I was dealing with a sex demon and I was infested with one was when I was extremely horny. Like I have peaks and periods of like when I'm extremely horny. And that's when the sex demon is driving in my life. So if I drive it in my dreams, that's when the sex demon is attached to me and he wants to go find new praise. So basically I'll be so horny. I'll be like, oh my God, I'm so horny. Like I can't think about nothing but sex. Everything I want to do is sex, and anybody I see, I'm just like, I can fuck him. He look fuckable. Like everything in my mind is infiltrated with sex. And not only that, I feel like I'm gonna die without sex. That's how sex demons are. They feel like they're gonna die without sex, and they really will. Like literally, they prey on people that they can have sex with. They take their energy because that keeps them alive. That keeps them functioning. But anyway, I felt like SpongeBob. I was like, I need it. Like I was so goddamn horny all the fucking time, and I didn't care who I had sex with. My thoughts were like that. I didn't play that in real life, but that's how it was. And nothing will satisfy you because the sex demon is better.
As a human, there's one act that every time you perform, you become God and God becomes you. Male or female, no matter what your gender is. Every time you perform this one act, you become one with God and God one with you. That act is sexual intercourse. Every time you have sex, you are given the privilege of creating life. Like I said, male or female, every time you have intercourse, God shows up in you, the male, and shows up in you, the female, and gives you the privilege of creating life. Please, can you tell me why you have chosen to treat this one chance that you're giving to become God so lightly? No. Can you tell me why the one opportunity that God gives you to become him stroke her, because God is dual in nature, why you have chosen to treat this one act so so lightly without the reverence that it deserves? Can you tell me? Sex is spiritual exchange. S, spiritual exchange. Sex. It is the one human act that brings life. But you, Auntie Uncle, who knows more than everybody on this planet, you have decided that the one chance that God gives you all the time, you will do it by heart. Can you tell me why? I have a story to tell you guys. Story time. So this gentleman reached out to me. He says, Manye, before I met and started dating my girlfriend, potential future wife 3 years ago, everything was good. I was running businesses. I had 3 cars. Everything was on the up and up. But since I started eating this girl, since I started intercoursing with this girl, since I decided that this is the woman I want to spend my life with, Manye, I have gone from grace to grass, not the other way around. Instead, she has grown, she has flourished, she has become a better version of herself as I continue to deteriorate. Manye, what can I do? So Eja, I referred him to him. Come to find out, even without this girl knowing, she has a succubus energy attached to her. Do you know what a succubus is? You don't. It's okay. Go and find out. She has an energy attached to her that even she does not know about. When people talk of spiritual marriages, yeah, it's one of those situations. This energy that is attached to her is a leech kind of energy. It attaches to its host and leeches all of the goodness that comes into its host's way and uses it to better the host. Whilst whoever it is leeching from goes downward. Every time this gentleman has had sex with his partner, his energies have been open to this leech stroke succubus spirit attached to the girl, and it has leached off of him. And so as he is going down, she is going up. Fortunately or unfortunately, this
attach is a generational curse.
Girl herself does not even know that this energy is attached to her. When I tell you people to stop having indiscriminate sex, please, it is not because I'm old and I don't know what's up. No. It is because of these kinds of stories. You people continue to couple with people you know nothing about. You continue to spirit exchange with people who worship things you are clueless about. In fact, they themselves are clueless about the things that are attached to them. This gentleman currently does not even know how he's going to speak to the girl because, like I said, the woman herself, she doesn't even know that this spirit is attached to her. All she knows is, yeah, she's living life. And suddenly things are going well for her. That's all she knows. He too, until now, all he knew was that he was going downward and didn't know why. So now he's in the process of having that situation fixed. Listen, it is not because I have money to waste on data why I come and sit here and tell you people no Koyeji. It is not because I have nothing to do that I come and I do these videos. I come and do these videos with the hope that at least one person will learn and safeguard themselves. If you are that one person, I'm cool. If one person, at least one person, learns that indeed Noko Yeji and starts to take better care of themselves, my purpose is done. Noko Yeji, people. Noko Yeji. Today, I honestly want you to understand.
She said a mouthful. And that's what I say. Just one.
That every time
Just one.
You are intimate with somebody, there's an exchange. You take away something from them, and they take away something from you. Sex is spiritual exchange. Are you hearing me? I am not speaking only to young women. I am speaking to you young men as well, and older men too, because you are the people who are chasing the small girls. Charlie, these days, the things that the small girls know and are doing, you would have set up some your fine business. Some small girl will come with some hair Succubees energy. And
Rock and Malik, do it out.
Let those who have ears hear. I am only here to sound a word of caution. Do with this information what you will. Me, I have said my own. Noku Yejin. You, like I always say, people, guard your heart, guard your essence, guard your spirit, and stay safe out there. Love you.
Wawa's new Apple handcrafted.
As you can see, folks, just like Jezebel, just like Lilith and Anna, these things ain't talked about enough. These are getting your children. This is causing breakups and marriages, divorce, psychiatric help. It's not a game. And it comes from a lustful desire that we all chose, as any other synthetic way.
I tell you that incubus and succubus demons are not real. Incubus and succubus demons are real. If you are engaging in pornography, masturbation, any type of perversion, fornication, sexual sin, okay, these demons have a legal right to torment your body and your life on earth. So a lot of you guys are broke. A lot of you guys have physical ailments. Your mental health is down the drain. You're battling depression, anxiety. A lot of you guys have ADHD. You're on meds. You're doing this and that. Listen to me. It's literally because you've opened doors to Satan. He is ruthless. He doesn't care about the fact that you're just getting off, or you're just trying to, take care of your flesh. He doesn't care. You're giving him a legal right because you're trespassing God's laws. There are laws that you must obey as children of God.
Do you have anything else to say to the other vampires listening out there?
As a matter of fact, I do. Come out, wherever you are.
That's why I say, what if your dreams was really reality and reality was really a dream? This is an illusion. This is not the real world. Something stripping you away. It's really something stripping your energy away in real life. If you understand what I'm saying. So you gotta really start cleansing yourself. You gotta really start loving yourself. You gotta start asking God to get rid of all the shit that's stopping you from being the best version of you. It's something serious behind that. Just like it's something that feed off your thoughts, your stressful thoughts.
It's something that feed off these sexual dreams. It get that serious, man. Everything happen in the astral world, the dream world, the spirit world. This is an illusion. You can't see shit with these two eyes. That's why it's good for you to become consciously aware and lose that fear. When you start meditating, you stop being scared of shit. You stop being scared of everything.
And they identified, so basically what happened was that a innocent, well-meaning, and attractive young woman encounters a male who's a bit of a monster. And the monster, there's 5 types of classic male monster. For all you males who want to know, this is what you can become. Vampire, that's a good one. Werewolf, billionaire, pirate, and surgeon. Okay, so that's very interesting because, well, first of all, there's a dominance thing. Now you're actually blushing, you're actually blushing about that. That's very, very funny. So, sorry to point it out, but it's so comical, I know, it's so funny. I was reading this, it was just cracking me up. I thought, oh my God, really? Pirate, vampire? Oh, that explains it. What about all these damn vampire shows, right? They're so popular online. They're so popular on Netflix. Oh, yes. And then there's the werewolf. There's nothing sexier than a werewolf, apparently. But I mean, so there's predatory dominance that's implicit in that, right? With the billionaire, it's more abstract, but clearly that's an indication.
So, how do you know that you have a spirit spouse, aka incubus/succubus? First off, disclaimer, because I see a lot of people commenting on this on social media about a woman's head needing to be covered when she's teaching the word. I do not believe in that. You are creating an idol when you tell a woman that her head is not protected if she does not put a scarf on it. God himself is our protection. Jesus Christ protect us with or without the head.
Woo! She said a mouthful, didn't she? Bunch of clowns.
We are protected. This is just my fashion statement for the fall because I have a lot of scarves and I plan on wearing them this way, another way, or another way. However, I feel to wear it for the day. I will be in my scarves or I won't be in my scarves because my head will definitely be protected with or without it. If you are having wet dreams, you have a spirit spouse. They are very deceiving. They will appear to you in your dreams as someone that you know, as an ex, even as your spouse, as someone that you might have just seen in passing that you thought was attractive. They will appear to you in your dreams as that person. They will not show up as the demon that they are because you will not let them touch you. You're going to do everything to stay away from them if they show up as the darkness that they are. So they will show up as light. They will show up to something or someone that you are attracted to deceive you. They will even show up in your dreams as yourself. That's how they show up. That's how mine showed up in my dreams because after a while, he knew that he could not get to me from my husband or my ex or anybody that I might have been attracted to. He would only come to me as myself. So I would think that this was myself in my dream, giving myself the big O, and it was the demon. That's why they are called familiar spirits. They can come to you as anybody to deceive you and stay attached to you. They are very jealous, possessive, and evil and do not want you happy. Anything that makes you happy, and definitely your marriages and relationships. You cannot keep a man. You cannot keep a woman. It causes divorces, confusion in your marriage and all of your relationships. It is hard for you to stay in a relationship is another way. Their goal is to stop your blessings. Anything that will cause you success and happiness, they are going to stop it. They cause barrenness, low sperm count, miscarriages, just a lot of darkness because that's what feeds them. How did you get it? How did I get it? I got it from practicing New Age, the occult, witchcraft. If you yourself or anybody in your family, even back 3, 4, 5 generations, practice New Age, witchcraft, the occult, you have open doors. They have open doors to demonic spirits. New Age, occultic, witchcraft practices have been very normalized through things like meditation, yoga, horoscopes, zodiac sign, weed smoking, liquor drinking. Yes, all of that. Masturbation, sex outside of marriage, any substances that alter your state of mind. Mushrooms, opioids, religion. It's spiritual. There are spiritual laws and principles that we must follow to be free and stay free from ancestral demonic curses. God is not trying to ruin your fun. He is trying to protect you. When we come out of sin and give our lives to Christ, he frees us from demonic bondage. It's not about religion. God hates the things that separates his creation.
Ooh, she said a lot. She deep. Where the niggas with hats talking about long hair and stuff?
Us from him. That thing that separates us from him is sin. When we are living in sin without even trying to come up out of it, without even trying to stop whatsoever, living YOLO, do what thou will, we are away from God. And he hates that. How do you break free?
I gotta stop on that note. It's a powerful note. The best note to leave it on. Y'all see how that child on the Most High look? See that smooth skin? See that soul? Better take heed to what the Spirit spoke to that lady, man. No more than niggas out here. I had to say it like that. Braka, thank you for coming out. HSE-TV Entertainment. Malik threw me under the bus. I like stuff like that. That's what's good. I like stuff like that. Nothing wrong with it. I ain't mad at you. Braka, brothers and sisters, gods and goddesses, children of the Most High, righteousness. Stay with the Ruach Eshe, Yasoi, Yasha, Holy Spirit to the rest of y'all. Thank you for coming to Hamashiach Productions, a.k.a. Holy Spirit Enlightenment Television Entertainment. Holy Spirit Power of Christ Deliverance Ministries. Enjoy your day.